600 athletes from 51 nations have gathered for the World Cross Country Championships. The course flat and fast, the weather dry, cold, with a biting wind. There are 4 races, 2 for juniors and the 2 senior championships, with the men's race about to start. And defending the title, the favourite today, Skah of Morocco. 5 laps of this fairly flat circuit, apart from some man-made hills. 44 countries and some 240 runners, and the inevitable battle at the start. Sometimes the first...
Then you have a very difficult afternoon's work.
There's a young man. He's a young man. He's new to us. We saw him
in the bunch of them there, just behind the leader, and they're gathering. And I'm looking just a little bit further down the field where I can see Eamon Martin and John Nuttall just staying off the pace quite sensibly. Richard Naruga of Great Britain, the last 2 years, has been our national cross-country champion, and there he is, just there in about 20th place.
Actually, one of the Kenyans there, Brendan, we ought to explain, is a non-counter. There are 3 Kenyans running in this race, wearing numbers 600, 601 and 602. Among the points leaders, and have been invited. 600 just on the edge of the picture. He's a non-scorer for the Kenyan.
Well, I think the leader, Karori, is being a little bit ambitious there. He's just all of a sudden, and to be perfectly honest, there's probably never been as competitive a time trial in history, because apparently 8 of them finished within 6 seconds over 3,000 meters, which is remarkable training, and it's amazing what happens when they get together. They just seem to
40 meters, and urgent messaging going out of the Kenyan commentary box from all over our broadcasting booths to find out more about him, and the message that just come back is unbelievable. He's new to us as well, they say. He's 31, Simon Karori.
4 Kenyans in that second group. Abibi of Ethiopia there just behind the Kenyans, Skah of Ethiopia, Boutayeb, Skah of Morocco, Boutayeb of Morocco, and then Eamon Martin just drifting a few yards off that group. Now Eamon really needs to knuckle down and get into the back of that group, because they will eventually slow down, because the pace they're running is a little bit too fast to keep going for 11,500 meters. And I think halfway distance, we'll be very interested to look at the 5,000 meter split, but I think you'll find that the second part of the race is going to be a bit slower than the first part.
Just looking at, I'm reminded of the race about 3 years ago when Kenya won, obviously. They had 8 men in the first 10. And in fact, the men who finished in 8th and 9th places in the World Championship didn't actually count in the...
World's fastest marathon runner last year. Skah of Morocco, Boutayeb of Morocco, Eamon Martin, Richard Naruga, and then they tell you, and the Kenyans, because even the team management of the Kenyans wouldn't be able to tell you which Kenyan they expect to be best today, because they're all so good, they're all so competitive. And there's number 121 of Ethiopia, Abibi of Ethiopia, just behind him there, number 329 of Morocco, last year's champion Khalid Skah. And if you remember last year, it was his first effort in a major championship when he won the...
He was 33rd last year, but he's going to be a lot further up this time. 294 is Chilimo, only 19. Second in last year's World Junior Championship, making a bit of impact in this one.
He certainly is. He ran in Belfast earlier this year, and Eamon Martin beat him by about half a minute. And it's amazing what happens when they go back to Kenya, go into that training camp and come out for this championship, the World Cross Country Championship, which means such a lot to the Kenyans. It means it's such a lot to them to win the team race, and obviously they're looking forward to trying to provide the individual winner. John Ngugi won it 4 times, and then Khalid Skah won it last year. He's in 4th place there, but the Kenyans would love the double, individual winner and team winner. 1, 2, 3, Kalili of Ethiopia. So they're in that leading group. There are 5 Kenyans, 2 Moroccans and 1 Ethiopian. And you can certainly say Africa has taken over distance running in a big way, and it's not just the Kenyans.
See up now, very, very... Well, it's so strong, it's blowing papers all over the course. The flags are stretching right out.
And that's Ondoro in the lead now. Chilimo on his inside, Kalili of Ethiopia just behind him, and Skah, where he's been for the whole race, in 4th place. just looking around, seeing if there's any danger coming from behind. Very conscious of his own talent, very conscious and confident about his finishing ability. And the highest place he's been, well, third. We've just got news of the British team. We've got some people counting the scorers further down the field. Eamon Martin, Andy Bristow, John Nuttall, Steve Tunstall in this order, Richard Naruga, Martin McLaughlin, all inside the first 60. And if they can just keep under those positions, I think the British team have a great chance of a medal in this game.
En nog een keer een beeld van het Afrikaanse overwicht bij dit wereldkampioenschap. Kenianen, Ethiopiërs en één Marokkaan, Khalid Skah, lange tijd in het gezelschap van zijn landgenoot Amu Boutayeb, maar die is dan wat teruggezakt, wat teruggevallen.
And I think Chilima was telling him that, stop using your elbows, let's have this race won by the best runner, not the one who can hit the hardest. They weren't very happy with that. They were most annoyed when they saw the film of the race that Skah ran against a Bibi of Ethiopia in the 5 Mills race, where they actually came to blows after the finish. And the three Kenyans, Chilimo in third place, just looking both sides. Ondoro in the lead, Karori, who's led for most of the way, Kalili of Ethiopia just behind him, and then Khalid Skah, the reigning champion, back in 5th place.
Well, Ondoro, not one of the scorers, in the race by invitation, so he's not counting in the Kenyan side. There'll be some worried frowns on the officials' faces if he wins. Does he take the individual world title?
Well, I think he does take the individual world title. I think that's the rule, but look at Skah moving up on the outside there. Kalili of Ethiopia right next to him, and Ondoro making his bid to become world cross-country champion.
Well, in the last 500 to 600 metres now, so all gathering themselves for the attack as they turn towards the long finish stretching away in the distance. Ondoro leading, Skah in 2nd place. He's clear now, ready to attack. And Diamu coming through the last minute replacement. Will he make it? 2.93. But Skah comes away to defend his world title. In 2nd place.
Aankomst ook van Andrew Lloyd, de kampioen van het Britse gemiddelde. Best op 5 kilometer. Prieto nu. Zal toch beter verwacht hebben van dit wereldkampioenschap Prof Wens. Terwijl we nog eens kijken naar de sprint, de laatste meters. Sprint ingezet door Karori, de man die zijn stempel heeft gedrukt op dit wereldkampioenschap. Snel gestart is, lange tijd met zo'n 40-50 meter voorsprong aan de leiding heeft gelopen. Dan bijgehaald. Niet achtergelaten. Toch teruggekomen, maar dan in de sprint verslagen door Khalid Skah.
Aankomst van Ivo Klaas en in zijn buurt ook Remo van Pamel. En dan hebben we ze allemaal gehad, behalve Van Geiten. Die heb ik nog niet zien arriveren. Ja, Gino Van Geiten komt er ook aan. Moet nog een 100 meter afleggen. En dan zit...
En de uitslag met 1 Skah, 2 Moses Tanoui, 3 Karori, dan Sherimo, die we op de tweede plaats hadden gezien, maar die wordt dus 4. Dan Ondoro als 5, dan Miamu, dan Shala de Ethiopiër, dan Bitok, nog een Keniaan, dan Addis Abebe en dan Hamu Boutayeb.
21ste moeten zijn, net niet bij die eerste 20. In plaats dus in de buurt van zijn 19e positie die hij behaalde in 1997.